Hello my dear students, welcome back to the another virtual class of Civics. So today I'm going to teach you about the High Courts. In the previous class I discussed about the Supreme Court, its functions and jurisdictions, its compositions and all. Okay. So Supreme Court is the topmost court of our country. I told you in the previous class also. So apart from Supreme Court, a number of state high courts are also there, and below that subordinate courts are there. So today we'll discuss about the state high courts. Okay, state high courts, because number of courts are there. Altogether right now we have 29 states, but only 25 high courts are there. So that one I'd like to explain you why it is so, because you can see the chart given over there. So altogether 25 are there, like Andhra Pradesh High Court shares its jurisdiction with Andhra Pradesh. Okay, Telangana, which is crossed over there. Now Telangana has been given a separate high court, so 24 high courts were there. Now with Telangana as a new high court been allotted, so 25 high courts are there. Okay, so Bombay High Court, okay, will look after the jurisdiction of Maharashtra, Dadar, Nagar Haveli, Goa, Daman and Diu. Then if you come to number 6, Guwahati High Court has been given the jurisdictions up to Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh. So these are the states whose high courts are at Guwahati. Okay, then Kerala, Lakshadweep, Kerala High Court, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry's High Court, Madras High Court. Then Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh has been brought under one high court, that is Punjab and Haryana High Court. So these are some of the high courts which has been, one high court has been given a jurisdiction of 2 or more states. Small states are brought under one high courts. Okay, so altogether right now we have 25 high courts. So today we'll discuss about some of the important topics here one by one. So let's start. The first thing we'll discuss about its composition. So in while discussing about the composition of Supreme Court, I mentioned that it is the president who is very plays a very important role in appointing the Chief Justice as well as the judges of the High Court. So first of all, the composition. So different high courts are there, so accordingly there cannot be a fixed number of judges for all the high courts. Okay, so number of judges varies from state to states. Okay, like we can say that number of judges varies from 3 in the case of Guwahati High Court to 48 in the case of Allahabad High Court. So Allahabad definitely in Uttar Pradesh, right? So definitely our largest populated state, so number of cases are very high over there, so 48 judges are over there. So it depends upon the workload of the high courts also. Okay, and if the high court workload increases, then ad hoc judges, okay, ad hoc judges are also appointed. It is mentioned ad hoc, ADHOC. Okay, ad hoc judges, that means they are temporary judges just for a temporary period of let us say 2 years, and they are appointed by the president to clear out the pending works of those high courts. Okay, that is all about the composition. So composition means number of judges varies from state to state high court. So there will be one chief justice in all the high courts, one chief justice, and along with one chief justice 3, sometime 48, sometime 12, sometime 13. So it varies from state to state depending upon the size of the state and the workload of the high courts. Okay, so that is all about the composition. Next one we have is the qualification. What are the qualifications required to become the judges of High Court? So in the previous class, like a Supreme Court qualification, we said that a person must have worked as a judge of any of the High Court for how many years? 5 years. And a person must have worked as a judge, advocate of High Court for how many years? 10 years. 5 years as a judge, 10 years as an advocate. Okay, or must be a distinguished jurist in the eyes of the president. So here somewhat little bit difference is there. First of all, the person must be a citizen of India. Okay, secondly, he must have held a judicial office in any territory of India for at least 10 years. Any territory of India, you should have hold office for how many years? 10 years. Okay, the next one, he must have been an advocate of a high court for at least 10 years. So holding judicial office for 10 years, or judges of any of the high court for how many years? Advocate of high courts for how many years? 10 years. So that they can become the judge of a high court. Okay, so that is very, very simple. Okay, that is the qualification required to become the judge of a high court. Okay, next one is the appointment. Next one is the appointment. So who appoints the judges? So first of all, let me tell you, the President of India appoints the judges and the Chief Justice of each high courts. So who appoints them? President of our country appoint the judges as well as the Chief Justice of the high courts. Okay, now while appointing the Chief Justice, President consults the Chief Justice of India. Suppose while appointing the Chief Justice of the particular state, President consults the Chief Justice of India and the Governor of the concerned state. Suppose West Bengal. Okay, he is going to appoint Calcutta High Court Chief Justice. So President will consult the Chief Justice of India as well as the concerned governor of that particular state. Okay, did you understand? Okay. Now next one, while appointing the judges, the President consults number one, the Chief Justice of that concerned high court along with the Chief Justice of India and the governor of the concerned states. Okay, while appointing the judges of high court, President will consult the Chief Justice of India, Chief Justice of that state and the governor of that particular state. Okay, so this is how the appointment is been done. Okay, so however the recommendations are not binding upon the President. Recommendation means judges, Chief Justice or the judges may tell President to appoint him or her. So it is not up to, the final decision is in the hand of the President. Okay, mostly we can see that who become the Chief Justice of High Court, the senior most judge of High Court is always appointed as the Chief Justice of the High Courts. That is obvious also. That means senior most judge of High Court definitely must be elevated to the position of the Chief Justice of the High Court. Okay, very, very simple. Okay, now next one is tenure. So tenure. So what is the tenure of the High Court judges? What is the tenure of the Supreme Court judges? Let me tell you. SC has the term of until they attain the age of how many? 65. SC, Supreme Court judges remain in office until they attain the age of 65. Okay, just to make a difference. Now the High Court, now how that means High Court judges, what is the tenure of the High Court judges? Very, very simple, 62. Okay, so what you will make it? Until they attain the age of 62. Okay, what is the tenure of the judges of High Court? Judges of High Court remain in office until they attain the age of 62. Supreme Court 65 and High Court how many? 62. Just you have to mention this sentence, 62, until they attain the age of 62. Is that clear? Okay, now next one is the removal. How can the judges of High Court be removed, my dear? Very, very simple, my dear. So judges of High Court can be removed by the President on the ground of proven misbehavior. Okay, in a similar manner in which the Supreme Court judges are removed or the President of our country is removed. Okay, and this can only be done by the Union Parliament by passing a resolution, that is an impeachment resolution. And what is impeachment? You know it very, very well. Okay, so impeachment procedure you all know it. Okay, how is the President of India impeached? The same procedure is followed over here in order to impeach the judges of the High Courts. Okay. Now next one is transfer. So judges of a High Court, okay, judges of High Court can be transferred from one High Court to the another High Court. Okay, transfer is possible. Judges of High Court can be transferred from one High Court to another High Court by the President of India. Okay, so transfer is possible. So President exercises this power in consultation with the Chief Justice of India. So before he transfer the judges from one High Court to another High Court, he consults with the Chief Justice of India. Okay, so that is all about the transfer of the judges. So one thing you must remember, so here the tenure is 65 years. Okay, here the tenure is 65 years and the High Court tenure is how many years? 62. There should not be a confusion. 65 in the case of Supreme Court and 62 in the case of High Court. What is it? Until they attain the age of 62. Here until they attain the age of 65. So SC means Supreme Court and HC means High Court. Okay, is that clear? So these are some of the important things which we need to understand in this case. Okay, now some of the cases like it is similar to the Supreme Court, just I'll revise it, like revisory jurisdiction. Okay, revisory jurisdiction is there any of the cases if the judgment has been given but the Supreme High Court judges feels that judgment is wrong, he can revise the judgment. If you want to know in detail, you can refer the previous videos in which I have discussed about revisory jurisdiction. Okay, and like a Supreme Court, High Court is also the court of record. Like a Supreme Court, High Court also is a court of record. Okay, like all the court hearing, the proceedings which takes place in the High Courts, okay, are recorded for future judgment and testimony. Okay, which is referred by the lawyers as well as the students of law. Okay, then the judicial review. Power of judicial review, like Supreme Court also has the power of judicial review. In the same way the High Court also has the judicial review, because state legislature also passes the laws, and if any of the laws are being challenged by a person or a group of person, then definitely that's that law's validity is to be checked by the High Court, and that is known as judicial review. Laws are passed by the legislature, and if any of the law or part of law is being challenged by the person, then that's validity regarding its existence or the validity of the law is there as per the constitution or not will be checked by the Supreme Court. Okay, if it is found to be against the constitution, will be declared as null and void. Okay, and next one more is there, like advisory jurisdiction. Advisory jurisdiction means like in the case of Supreme Court, President may seek advice from the Supreme Court. Here in the case of High Court, Governor of the concerned state may seek advice from the High Court. Okay, so that is the role of advisory jurisdiction of High Court. Okay, like rest of the other jurisdictions we are not going to discuss as per the syllabus. It is not required also. This High Court I just taught you just for your general information, just to give you awareness how this High Court works. Okay, we may require all these ideas for our better understanding, so I taught you this one. Okay, so this much from this chapter. So we'll meet again in next class. Till then, please take care of yourself, stay safe, bye bye.